Welcome to the main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As I can tell you, even though we just got started, that this is going to be one of the biggest main events we are ever going to see on Road Glory, Sammy.
Reality Wrestling Glory. Kicking off hot and strong, bringing WWE NXT to the house here in this main event. Talk about pressure for Eli Knight.
Eli Knight, it could very well be like looking into a mirror into the future.
And his opponent from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 190 pounds, WWE NXT Superstar, Cardiac King, Wesley.
You know, at one point in his career, Wesley was looked at a lot like Eli Knight, a potential standout from his tag team, the Rascals. Went on to make a career and a name for himself as a single star and became an incredibly successful NXT North American champion. For Eli Knight, the single success hasn't quite happened yet, but maybe that changes tonight, Sammy.
The pressure is on Eli Knight to prove that he's ready for the next step against a man that you gotta believe he patterned a lot of his career after in Wesley.
The main event is set. It is NXT versus Reality of Wrestling. And here we go.
Wesley versus Eli Knight. As you brought it up, Kirby, like looking in a mirror, Eli Knight trying to break out of the pack. Rally Wrestling fans know Eli Knight from starting out with Culture Inc., tag team wrestler, trying to break out as a single star. And what an opportunity here in this main event against NXT superstar Wesley.
Wesley finding success, as you mentioned, as part of the Rascals. Former tag team champions in dang near every promotion that they competed in. And look at Eli Knight. We talk about him being disrespectfully athletic, managing to break free already from Wesley. This whole match might actually just end up being disrespectfully athletic as a whole, Sammy.
I mean, talk about frequent flyer miles. Both these guys, Wesley and Eli Knight, have them and then some. Not only similar career paths, but similars in styles in that ring. It's very interesting to see who gets the advantage in the early going of this matchup.
Now, just again, looking at these two potentially just being mirror images of each other.
Look at that. Nice stalemate.
As you see that stare down right there, much to the pleasure of the Road Nation. What do you think Eli Knight brings to the table that Wesley has never seen before?
Well, the fact that Eli Knight has got that hunger, has got that drive, trying to break through that glass ceiling, and that's what Road Glory is all about. I mean, Wesley, for all intents and purposes, he's made it to the big dance. He's on WWE NXT. He's gotten the recognition that he sought for so many years. Eli Knight's poised to try and grab that same recognition, and he can maybe achieve that here tonight against Wesley.
Eli Knight definitely trying to position himself as one of the Road Nations here. Road Nation stars, I should say. And you know, maybe there's a chip on his shoulder looking at all these people coming from NXT, coming from TNA to try and make a name for themselves here at Reality of Wrestling. Do you think maybe Eli Knight feels like he's defending home turf here?
Oh my God!
There's that athleticism that we talked about, and maybe that right there is something that Wesley hasn't seen before.
If you're able to impress and show something that Wesley's never seen before, that's the task. But
look at that. Roll through, but no, Wesley able to break free. And look at that, Eli Knight saying, I almost got you.
I'll forgive you for mixing it up, but look at the athleticism of both these men.
I guarantee you if we were to play this match at normal speed, or I should say at half speed, it would look at normal speed for the rest of us, Sammy.
As Eli Knight, you blink and you're going to miss something. It's one of the most anticipated matchups here we've had at Road Glory.
Wesley now showing us the kind of skill that managed to get him the North American Championship, and up until recently was one of the longest reigning champions, but that right now means nothing to Eli Knight.
Eli Knight put it on a show here. He knows that all the eyes are on this matchup here at Road Glory. And Wesley to the outside, gonna take a breather. Do you think that Wesley expected this kind of offense from Eli Knight? I mean, I gotta believe he had to.
Well, he had to have been doing his homework. He said so on social media, that people said you should watch this guy before you wrestle him. And now maybe paying his respect is Wesley to Eli Knight. Maybe now he knows exactly what he's in for.
Wesley with the extent of a show of respect. Will Eli take it?
And the handshake accepted by Eli Knight. Oh! That was all a trap!
Yeah, I was about to say, finally nice to see that that went the way we would hope so, but just after Wesley showing Eli Knight what it takes to make it to that next level.
A trick that I guarantee you Wesley may have fallen for in the past. Now showing Eli Knight exactly what NXT is all about. I hope you heard that, Sammy, because that was a statement right there. There's a stark difference between me and you. As now Wesley gets caught with that super kick. And I think he might think he's back in Orlando.
Oh, God!
Manages to knock Eli off balance.
Wesley just turned up the volume on Eli Knight. A lot of confidence from Eli Knight in the early going, but I think Wesley just showed there are levels to this.
And there's definitely levels to that kind of stop that Wesley just delivered to the outside.
Right to the small of the back, referee right there to check on Eli, but
and you saw Wesley there on the outside saying he's barely breaking a sweat against Eli Knight.
I think Wesley proved a long time ago, as you say, former North American champion.
Cover here from Wesley, but a quick kick out from Eli.
Wesley is a lot more than just a finesse guy. He can fly with the best of them, but he knows how to change his game plan, and he is taking out Eli Knight.
And at this point, I just hope that Eli Knight can stay focused. We know his recent issues with Eric Lockhart have got to still be in the back of his head.
Not just
speaking of the back of his head, that's where Wesley's now going after.
Not just his issues with Lockhart, the fact that Eli Knight might have been taken out. He's lucky to even be competing still. Look at that! Shade to the two-time Hall of Famer.
Not sure how smart that is doing it in Booker's house.
So many athletes that have performed here, Reality Wrestling, looked up to Booker T. And now with the lights on, bright Wesley in the House of Reality Wrestling belt.
Oh!
But don't count out Eli Knight just yet.
An enziguri from out of nowhere, as Eli Knight could have just knocked the lights out of Wesley. And now Wesley, trying to fire back. But here comes Eli. Oh!
I mean, you talk about the quickness of Eli Knight, but Wesley's right there. Look right, goes for the cover, but is driving those knees.
Right into the ribs. He knows how important the ribs are if you want to have a dynamic offense like Eli. And right into the cover. A very weak kick out from Eli Knight than we're used to seeing, Sammy. The damage could have been done.
I mean, Eli Knight is in a bad way.
And this is our main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in the second edition of Road Glory. As we know, next week we're going to see Gino Medina defend the Texas Championship against Josiah Jean. We could be in the light of having new champions all around for Reality of Wrestling, as right now Eli Knight is trying to take down a former champion in his own right.
Eli Knight almost fighting for his life here. He needs to get it away from Wesley and try to build some momentum, and Wesley doing everything he can to put a stopper to any of that.
Now Wesley maybe looking, I think he was looking for the cardiac kick.
Eli out to move up, but can he capitalize? Eli back to his feet, but no, look at that.
Right into the midsection once again. Does Wes Lee go after? And a smart plant. Oh!
Good God!
He bounced right into that clothesline.
Eli just turned Wes Lee out. And that's not the break that Eli Knight needed.
He's using his own momentum against him, Sammy. And both guys trying to get back onto a vertical base. Wes Lee, again, look at this. He got caught. And he got planted.
Oh no, Wes Lee in the
now-
drop. Oh!
Disrespectfully athletic moonsault into the cover, but not a victory.
Drop zone connect, 2 count only for Eli Knight. Eli is up. Eli is fired up.
He's thinking Superman press, but he's got to set up Wes Lee. Scoop slam connects, center of the ring. Eli Knight could be just moments away from the biggest victory of his career.
He's grabbing at that abdomen. So much has been taken out of Eli and given enough wherewithal for Wes Lee to try and put a stopper.
Oh, look at this, trying to go in for that feint kick, but Eli Knight, poison Rana! Planted him right on his head!
Where's Eli Knight getting this from?
That is how much this victory would mean for Eli Knight. Now from the top, trying to set up.
Hey, Eli.
Wait a second.
I'm in Orlando. I'm on my way to see you. But I guess those ribs healed right up for a match with Wes Lee. Huh. Saw an interesting vehicle leaving your place, though. Looks like while you were out focusing on you, Daddy got sick again. You keep focusing on Eli Knight. Eric Lockhart will keep an eye on your family. I'll make sure everything here goes smoothly.
It looks like Eric Lockhart.
That is not okay, but God, we have still have a match going on.
Wes Lee taking advantage of the distraction, as we heard from Eric Lockhart. Cardiac kick into the cover to win the main event, and Wes Lee picks it up.
I mean, we talk about distractions. Wes Lee, I mean, a huge victory. This was such a great matchup, and I cannot believe what Eric Lockhart just did. Not just interrupting this matchup, but is he at the hospital that Eli Knight's, his father's at? Is that what we're supposed to understand here?
I think that's exactly what Eric Lockhart said, as Eli Knight was just moments away from potentially the biggest win in his career against an NXT superstar. And Wes Lee goes and takes advantage of the distraction to win in our main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to be soul-crushing for Eli Knight.